launch. Here we are.
Great. Bring the slides up, Francesco. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'm just going to jump into the first slide. So just one or two slides to introduce things. Those of you who know us will recognize this. We are a specialist in internet filtering, mitigating malware and specific forms of content. We're filtering, I think we've peaked well over 2 billion clicks a day. I should have updated this slide. And we've just crossed 110 countries of presence, a threshold. And our aim is to bring low-cost, affordable filtering to the masses, especially down in the small, medium enterprises and anyone who is a discerning buyer wanting value for money. Okay, whether it be in a business organization, government, ISPs, public hotspot, we have some very creative business models. We only sell indirectly through the channel. That remains our strategy, and we love the channel. We embrace the channel. This is very different to any other vendor in our segment. And our strategy, from a product point of view, is to make FlashStart an easy to deploy, low-cost product compatible with any router, allowing access into the FlashStart cloud, which will do a validation to protect you from malware, filter the content you require to create a personalized Wi-Fi, to create a personalized internet, to create a consumption appropriate to your environment, whether it be in a restaurant, whether it be in your business, whether it be in a school. And optionally, to create things like Active Directory integration, IP workgroups, and today, the ability to put on a device that can roam anywhere. And that's the focus of this session right now. So the driver behind all the current attention is, of course, home working. And we can't talk about home working or smart working, as it's better known in some parts of the world, without talking about COVID-19. And so that has changed so many things in the world. And as we prepared for this session today, which is essentially a product announcement, and we're going to demo the product, we wanted to also look at some data. And I think it's a given that home working, school home working, whatever periods of time outside the office, is something that's taken on a new form. But a lot's been said about it. So,
David, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I think that David got frozen.
I looked for some interesting. Okay, back. Am I back? Testing. I'm back.
Yes, I can hear you, David. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
You had a lag in the conversation, but now it's okay.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right. So I don't think we missed anything. So let's look at some data points here. Right, now this is a really interesting data point. 42% of personal computers have no protection, or perhaps slightly more to explain that, 42% of computers, people selectively apply protection or have no protection at all. Now, where does this number come from, and why is it kind of interesting? Well, this number comes from a 12-month study inside an agent that was shipped within Hewlett-Packard, Dell, and Lenovo computers, shipped out in 12,000 organizations, and over the course of 12 months, they tracked more than 1 billion transactions, okay, internet-based transactions, to look for the protection on the computer and whether there were measures being taken from whatever vendor. And this is quite an interesting figure. So this is North America and Europe, but the scale of the measurement and the fact that this was measured right to the point where COVID-19 started suggests that this is an interesting and valid data point. So just under half of computers are vulnerable out there in organizations at the start of COVID-19. An interesting data point. I hope you'll find. Okay. Secondly, during the COVID-19 crisis, measurements were taken by an AI specialist, Sentinel-1, on a large collection of devices, and they expressed their results as follows: that from the period 22nd of Feb, when this study started, for to the 15th of March, so that's about a 3-week period, there was a growth of almost 400% in attacks on devices, so rising from 37 attacks to 145 attacks per 1,000 devices. And this really is an interesting stat to just show an insight as to how these threat actors targeted this particular event. And I'll say a little bit more. I haven't got too many stats here, but just some little teasers to bring things to attention. Okay, now that's attacks. So people attacking you, but this is an interesting stat from the adult site Pornhub, and I pick on Pornhub quite a lot in my data analysis because Pornhub share their data very readily. It's very easy to get into. It's widely regarded as highly valid data, and what we see here is that in the duration of COVID, and we're starting at 1st of March to end of April here, this is growth compared to average traffic per day on their site. And there's two things here. You can see that it gradually ramps up, and we could argue whether this is kind of normalizing at 6 to 11% during this period. It's an interesting growth. It's not noise, okay? But then we have this huge peak here, okay? Which is when they started offering their premium service at free, and there are individual country profiles, and you see a very similar peak per profile when you look at it. The message here is that people are surfing some sites which will expose them more to malicious content during home working periods. And if you're the owner of internet policy in your organization, you've probably got some views on whether you want people doing this kind of stuff, which might be on a corporate device and might be wasting time that you're paying for. Staggeringly, 42 billion visits in 2019. Global population, 7.5 billion. So we're getting towards 7 visits per year for every man, woman, and child on the planet. I guess it's around 6, isn't it, right now? But I mean, it's staggering. It's staggering. Interesting data. From internally, we looked at our last 4 weeks of data, and we can see 68% of organizations that we service. We did blocks on to protect them from either malware or potentially aggressive forms of applications, which are generally regarded as unwanted. Okay, so that's a large number. That's a large percentage. And so I'm not going to go through many other facts here at all, actually, as we set a backdrop for home working. But if you like data, then if you go to our Twitter page at FlashStart, you'll see some other interesting facts and data I posted, including what you can't really see here. This is a timeline during the COVID crisis. And the color coding is attacks based upon COVID-19 related phishing, ransomware, DDoS, exploits, hacking. And the details here will show you the actual countries and events. It's quite interesting. This is a global one. There's one for the UK. There's some other stuff as well around statistics of risks. So please go to @FlashStart and log, take a look, and like us if you appreciate, and do follow us. Okay, so let's talk product, because we are essentially here to launch our new product ClientShield into this home working environment. And so this technology is a response to the COVID-19 emergency. It's no exaggeration to say that the new normal, whatever that becomes, includes the home environment as part of the workplace and a part of business continuity. So if we clearly all have another crisis, the office is closed, the school's closed, at home becomes part of this business continuity thing. And so integration of the home environment with business rules, with policy on the internet is critical and has to be done efficiently with ease of setup, efficiently within price. I mean, these are definitely the rules that guided our design, and we believe guide what people are looking for. From a technical point of view, defending against just the kind of things we talked about, and I should add on here, difficult to disable. Based upon those 42% of exposed computers. There were a number, and the statistic I don't have, of people who were disabling their computer at will to go and see stuff. Okay, so let's talk about ClientShield. So ClientShield is available from today. We've been through our alpha beta testing stages, and it's now on sale. It's generally available product from today. We're going through a range of technology releases. So the Windows clients are available today. Android will follow very shortly, the first in end of the month in August. iOS, Chromebook, and possibly some others are going to be following shortly after that. And this is an application to download, install, configure, extremely fast on your device. Critically, during the download, having a video call like this, it will have no impact whatsoever on the upload and download bandwidth. It will consume negligible bandwidth consumption. It's designed specifically to with sensitivity to those parts of the world where bandwidth is still being charged per megabyte and gigabyte. Okay, it's very efficient on that, but it's updating its policy lists in real time by pinging the cloud with a small DNS packet securely. And this all will operate transparently with the existing FlashStart technology, based upon the same administration and policy settings. And we're gonna show you that in one minute after this last slide here. Okay, so it's an application within the device which is designed to be difficult to disable, but it can be disabled with permission of the administrator with codes, and we're going to show you that. It's allowing a device to leave the workplace or the school to go home, and regardless of whether you're operating on a router or a 4G, 3G network or public Wi-Fi, that device has the intelligence within it to operate within the policy that it's operating under based upon the FlashStart administrator. Okay, so there's no configuration of the router at home. There is a very transparent experience, as you will see during the demo. Same policy rules applies, consistent, integrated, available now. Now, Francesco, I think this is
Yes.
the moment we're going to go into a demo, so I'll just let you close up any other comments you'd like to say to introduce this and hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me share the screen. Can you see my screen right now?
We see it, Francesco.
Okay, can you see it? Okay, so today let's log into the FlashStart Cloud platform. If you are already using FlashStart Cloud, you will find the new ClientShield icon. Let's override our customer area. It's plenty of resources also for end users and for resellers and for managed service provider. Okay, here we have the license section, support, the price list, the sales tools, multimedia, and the profile section. But let me immediately jump on board the new feature, because it will take 3 hours to explain the whole FlashStart infrastructure. Okay, let's skip the basic settings, because FlashStart can interoperate with a router, with a carrier, and so on. Because today we will focus to the ClientShield roaming. Just to recap in 30 seconds our interface. Okay. In the homepage, we recap the 4 main most important reports. Here we have a protection session where we select the category sites to be blocked or not. We have also a geo-blocking feature in order to block traffic towards dangerous countries. For example, some part of Russia in some specific periods might be compromised against malware, phishing, and ransomware. Here we have the reporting session and it displays more than 20 reports with specific data and with safe internet analytics. We have the network session to attach any router, to attach public IP. The searches function facilities can retrieve historical data and can have a look into the real-time analysis. The Active Directory integration, where we can join and start filtering granularly, connecting to a Microsoft Windows domain controller. It is not a topic of today. And finally, this is the new tab. It's already present if you are already using FlashStart in your dashboard. That's the ClientShield roaming. Okay, so it comes with a 3 steps installation. Point number 1, we need to select the protection profile. Okay, we have just created two protection profile. You can choose the best for part of the users, and you can choose another protection profile for another part of the user. For example, in a school for students and teachers, or in a company for CEO and for presidents, and another one for simple employees. Let me choose home worker, step number 1. Step number 2, I need to copy the security key. Please pay attention that the security key is the same for any device. Okay, if I have 1,000 of device to be deployed with FlashStart ClientShield, the security key will be always the same. Why? Because through the Microsoft software installer, we can easily deploy the same software image to hundreds and hundreds of devices. Step number 3, now you can download the software for Windows. It's about 4 or 5 megabyte. Android, as David said, and Macintosh, Apple, and iOS is coming soon. If you have some users that are not inside the company, you can also send the link by email. So you can send a download link. Fine. Let me copy the key. Let me download the software, and I've already installed the software in order to speed up the presentation and avoid to reboot my computer in case. Here is the main configuration. Now I need to pass the security key. Okay, I can select a different security key for a different profile. I need to attach the home worker profile. That's an option. I can give you a name, Francis. Let's. Can I use an English name, David? Is Francis the corresponding
Boris.
of
Boris.
Francesco?
Yep.
Boris Johnson.
Boris.
Okay. Now let me register the device. Registration successful. Finalizing the settings, and now the client is ready. Please have a look right here into the client session. It will come in a few seconds. Okay, it will come now. It's okay. It's on go. Okay, and now the system is connecting into the network. Sometime we can have a delay in replica, but the client now is connecting. Okay, protection is enabled now, and have a look here. Have a look here. If I open a DOS prompt, and if I type NSLOOKUP, do you know what NSLOOKUP is? NSLOOKUP is a way to query a DNS server. The system has already changed my DNS. This is an internal VPN DNS reachable server. Why a VPN? Because in this way we can protect just the DNS traffic, and we can encapsulate through the tunnel the DNS traffic. So it's very safe. It's very secure. If I type, for example, NewYorkTimes.com, the system answer, and then the system send out the answer. It's very easy to disable the protection for an IT administrator. Okay, it's very easy to disable the protection for an IT administrator. If the end user requests to disable the protection, he needs to type a disable pin. Okay, you have a 6-digit pin for each filtering profile. For example,
I'll be the admin, and I give you the pin 975619.
Yes. The following day, the disabling pin will change. So if your user will share the pin, it's not a problem, because after 24 hours, the pin will be generated back again. Let me select 9756195619. Here we go. Let's confirm, and now it's a test environment, but if you type the pin, the system disable the protection. It's a test environment, so it's not live because it's a test environment. So that's to say, point number one: encapsulate traffic through the VPN tunnel. Okay, it's very important. Okay, here is my version, and okay. Here is my client. I have a different version, home worker, last synchronization. I can change the name, also the IT administrator. Each client is it's very important to understand that each client generates a unique ID number. So it can be recognized, and it can be trace back. We have a disabled pin for each profile, and this is the registration date and time. I can change the profile, so an IT administrator can easily change the profile. Okay, if I change the profile, then I can proceed to a new registration. Let me try back again. Now, let me try back again, and let me make another test. Now, I want to select the malware-only profile. And let me synchronize again with this stuff, okay? Let me register the device. Let me finalizing my settings, okay? And now let me switch on the protection. The protection is automatic, and when your machine will be rebooted, the protection mandatorily will start again. You can see that Francis' computer is now with protection enabled. If I come back inside and if I try to change my profile, the system says client protection is actually active, disconnect and retry. Let me go to the DOS prompt now, and let's look up. This is the NewYorkTimes.com.
You're now going to do a test on the device under protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it resolves correctly. Let me try google.com. Okay. And system will inherit the malware-only protection. It's very important also to understand that if you have a specific protection profile in the company, the router company, when the users goes abroad, goes remotely, the user will be protected with the same protection profile as it was inside the company. It's very important to understand. Let me try to ping the latency. It's very fast. It's just 40-45 milliseconds. Now I'm working from Italy to Amsterdam. The VPN doesn't charge any additional latency packet loss, so it's very fast. Just to notice 2 points. Just the DNS traffic will be encapsulated through the VPN tunnels. Okay, the normal traffic, download, upload, and the website browsing is entirely going out from your normal connection. So there is no interference with the speed and with the behavior of your internet connection. Let me try to disable the protection. Now I am in the live environment. Sorry before, but I was in a test environment. Okay, I can disable protection. Okay, protection is disabled. And now if I refresh my screen, protection state has come back to disable. And now I can change the profile if I want, because my protection has just been switched off. Fine. You have a bug report selection, and you have a quite complete manual. We have just updated every guide. So first step, license management, product version protection, configuration, ClientShield for remote users, Active Directory, price list area, advanced configuration, for example, multi-profile, HTTPS certificate, and sales tool together with the router guides to meet the biggest number of router instructions. So it's very easy right now to integrate and to interoperate with a ready-made guide. Are there any questions just on the live part?
Yeah.
If no, we can proceed straight ahead with the presentation. Let me know if there are.
Let's do that. I want to. And thanks for the presentation there, Francesco.
Here we are.
I want to thank the many of you who participated with us in the beta trials. We did particular testing on some 3G networks, the slow HSPA and the fast HSPA plus, and then on to 4G as well, and that performed really well. We did testing in parts of the world, as I say, where there's a lot of charging, Nigeria, South Africa in particular. So thank you for the testers there. And we did some large rollouts with large numbers of users at home, where they needed to download what is a very small application, get that installed efficiently, have it all done remotely, who are not technical people. Okay, so we jumped a lot of hurdles there. Okay, I see a nice question there. How will it work regarding licenses? Zhao, absolutely. So license model. Well, very straightforwardly, the license, the ClientShield capability is now included in the FlashStart Pro Plus pricing. The FlashStart Pro Plus pricing is based on the normal nominal users, and all normal rules apply. So we haven't changed the pricing, it's just included within it. So if you have Pro licenses a day, you can upgrade them to Pro Plus. If you have a situation where you're looking to introduce part of this technology, come to us, come to your reseller, we'll work with you. The pricing is extremely effective. In all the scenarios we've looked at, and we've looked at the competitors' pricing models, and this is by far and away the most efficient model on the market by such a long way. Come and have a look at your pricing, please. So excellent pricing remains. You take a Pro Plus license, count the number of users, and that's the way you price this. Okay, so Pro Plus, of course, also offers many other features, an option for Active Directory and what have you. You don't need to deploy any of that. That's just optional. And in the specific case of residential users, and I appreciate there won't be any residential users on this call today, but for our reselling community who might service residential, the residential users can take this offer. It's a simplified offer, but it provides exactly the same functionality that Francesco just demonstrated. The possibility to lock the device and set a profile for that device. So Francesco, correct me, just to validate here. So if there are 3 devices in one residence, what flexibility do they have to operate on different profiles?
Can you repeat, David, the question?
I'll answer my own question. So if you have 5 users in a residential household, and you have
they are covered.
They are
covered. Yes.
Yeah.
The standard.
Personalize the profile for each device.
Yes, for example, you can block pornography to children, and you can allow, for example, Pornhub, as you said before, to the daddy, and maybe to the mammy, but I don't know, better to the daddy rather than to the. Yes, it's possible to synchronize also a specific profile for the grandfather and for the grandmother with a very light web surfing selection. Here we go.
Okay, great. So that's the license model. And I believe that's more or less the last slide. So final comparison here between Pro, which is our multi-tenant offer providing group filtering, and Pro Plus, which brings in the ability to filter per person, option for ClientShield included, you may or may not deploy, option for Microsoft Active Directory, and so forth. Okay, so we continue to strengthen the offer, maintaining the same pricing and licensing model. Okay, excellent. Right, so trials. Please download, try it, offer it to your end users to download and try. Schools, download and try. Free trials. We appreciate the standard as a 15-day trial. That's not appropriate for every scenario. If you'd like an extended trial, just contact your reseller, contact us direct. We'll enable it for you. That's not a problem. Okay. During the trial, there is no limitation on the functionality, no limitation on features. Okay, you get to taste the entire experience. Okay. Okay, so we're at the end of this session for today, and so I would please ask you just to help us on our very short survey. How was the content? Some feedback on smart workers, home workers in your own customer base or organization if you're an end user. And the third question, you'll have to remind me there if I can. Oh yeah.
Second question is how many smart workers, more or less, are there in your organization, and if yes, if you have already provided to their security. And finally, you can benefit of a free live demo with a FlashStart customer engineer in order to take advantage and in order to take benefits of the deep features of the solution. Meanwhile, you are proceeding to complete the service. I personally thank you, together with David, of filling our very short survey. You can ask whatever you want using the chat, for example, some sales information or some technical details or some special requirement, or simply just to share your ideas or your vision about the ClientShield proposal. Please feel free to ask whatever you want, and at the same time, I would be very thankful if you complete this the survey. Thank you. Let's wait for any question. And meanwhile, let me talk that you can also ask to access price list. If Andrea, please, if you passed into the live chat, the link to request access to our price list, both for dealers and for end user, obviously. Remember that FlashStart is always sold by dealers, by reseller, by very qualified people around the world. And if you are an end user and if you need a quote, we will be glad to receive the request and to forward to our local partner. Are there some live questions, some curiosity, some issues, some critics also too? We are very open to critics, and just let's leave you some minutes in order to fill the survey and wait for any questions. Okay, the answers are coming in. Thank you. Please give us the minute to complete the survey. And let me remember that Windows Client is stable from today, and Android should come by the end of July, and iOS and Chromebook, which is very used in schools, in K-12 school environment, will be available by the end of August, so before the New Year school start. Okay, Moses, when will Mac application come? By the end of August. Macintosh will follow iOS. So we have a special team for Apple devices, both iOS, mobiles, iPad, and obviously Mac. Okay? Are there some other questions? And just few people still needs to complete to fill the service. I'm very thankful and glad if you can proceed right now.
We do appreciate it. Just a few moments. We go through all this. We take the feedback, and we'll endeavour to follow up on all the requests within a very short space of time.
Yes.
Okay.
I think everything is okay.
Good. So you'll find the documentation. Documentation's all live on the website, brochures and what have you. Francesco, in the sales materials.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Let me share my screen again, just for a second. In the sales and tool, okay. So in our customer area, sales and tool, it should be online. I'm not sure, but I can ClientShield.
There we go.
It
ClientShield
will
process.
it will arrive. It will arrive.
Oh, it's there.
Oh,
It's there.
sorry, it's here. It's okay. ClientShield. It's okay. That's here. It's okay. It's in English, in Spanish, and in Italian. Okay. It's for 6 pages. For sure, you can also print the version. And here we have just recapped the main technical features in order to give correct answers to our users and to our customers with a roadmap for the availability of our client. Okay. Okay, brochure is online, fine, everything is okay. Okay. If you do not have any other questions, no, sorry, someone is typing. Let's wait for the questions. Okay, let me put back again the interview. Okay, so you can continue. Just few of you still need to complete the survey. Just few of you, and nobody else. Okay, good answers. Okay, I noticed that someone was typing the questions. If you have a question, please type it here now. Otherwise, we need to close our session because we booked 50 minutes of yours. Okay, David,
Yeah.
I think that's okay. We
Yep.
will follow
Thanks,
up with
everyone.
a nice. We will follow up with the video, with the slide presentation, and with the price request link together with some nice FAQs. Someone is typing. I don't know what's arriving. Just wait a few seconds in order to receive the question. No, it's a false alarm. Okay, thank you for your time. I wish you a good day and a marvelous rest of the week. Try FlashStart, reaching cloud.flashstart.com, and then send us any feedback useful to improve our ClientShield and our technology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye from Italy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.